What's up, everybody? It's your girl. Welcome to China and welcome to my channel. And as you guys know, when I do stories like this, I'm not really that chipper because they make me sad, they make me upset. And today I want to bring awareness to the case and the murder of Miss SARAH EVERARD. So for those who do not know, it was a UK woman. This has been trending for the past couple days. It is found out that she had her life taken. She was kidnapped and murdered allegedly by a police officer within her community. She was kidnapped by an off-duty officer and he murdered her, to be blunt. So with that being said, again, it's a developing story, so bear with me, but I wanted to give you the full timeline and I want to go ahead and get into this case. It is still developing, but I just wanted to get this out in the air because it's very upsetting and we can have this whole conversation once we get through it, okay? So, SARAH EVERARD, for those who do not know this story, it has been trending on Twitter. Again, I am in America, so I'm going to go ahead and lay out all of the different terms that we're going to be talking about. PC, police constable, also Metro Police. Since we do not have those different terminologies here in America, I'm going to be going ahead and debunking those and letting you guys know what those mean so the story makes sense. So anyway, SARAH EVERARD, she was leaving her best friend's house, taking about a 50-minute walk back home through her neighborhood. She was on the phone with her boyfriend. Her phone died or something happened to her connection. Her boyfriend did not see her again when they had plans. It was not the boyfriend before you think that. It was an officer, come to find out. But how did we get here and what happened? So for those who do not know, the Met Police, again, I said a Met Police officer was the one who took this young woman's life. The Metropolitan Police Service consists of regular police officers and volunteer part-time special constables, both of whom have full police powers, are employed civilian staff, and police community support officers. Unlike police staff, PCOS's police officers are not employees, they are servants of the crown. So this is more like a Good Samaritan deal where anybody can almost be a police constable. It still is a lower ranking. And also the Metropolitan Police is in the metro area, so think about the cities, and the New London Police or Outer London Police. Again, UK people, correct me if I'm wrong. It is two departments. It is one for the city and one for the outer. We're talking about the Metropolitan Police, which is dealing with the city. So an off-duty officer, again, attacked her and allegedly took her, and she was found dead about 2 weeks later. But again, how did we get here? Let's go ahead and go through the timeline. This is according to Wiki for those who want to look. The disappearance at around 21 GMT on March 3rd, 2021. Everard had been visiting a friend on Lenawith Road at the Chaplain Common. She is believed to walk across the common en route to her home, either along A205 South Circular Road, again this is in the UK, or through the park via the bandstand. She spoke with her boyfriend on mobile for about 15 minutes, and the boyfriend did come out and say that they had plans again the next day to hang out. Everard has been seen on doorbell footage on Poinders Road. After this, there were no sightings of her. So this was almost on her way home, but they did not quite get a video of her at her house just yet. Her boyfriend contacted the police on March 4th after she did not meet him. CCTV footage from a bus passing en route was used to progress the investigation. So for those who do not know what CCTV is, it is mass surveillance, it is circuit surveillance. It is basically in America, for every 100 people, it's going to be a certain amount of cameras in one vicinity of an area, and they have a lot in the UK. I believe it's like 1 every 15 people, so you really aren't in private at all. With that being said, she's gone, she's not here. But now what happened? In the UK, I am going to let you guys know through my research, and again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, they are a lot more on the low. People do not leak news. They do, but it's a lot more touchy. And with this involving an officer, we didn't really get a lot of say until she was found. So now let's get into when she was found. Arrests and legal proceedings. On March 9th, Kent police arrested 48-year-old male Metro police officer in his home, deal later revealed as police constable Wayne Couzens. As I said, a police constable, a PC, is a lower ranking officer or surveiller of the area, someone who doesn't really have a lot of clout in, let's say, the police force, but they are just making sure everyone is safe. Couzens has been serving in the Metropolitan Police since 2018. The officer, who was off duty at the time of the arrest, was assigned to a parliamentary and diplomatic protection branch and performed ununiformed patrols of the diplomatic premises. So he was doing patrols of the premises, ununiformed. So he was walking around like a secret shopper, basically making sure that people were minding their own business and staying safe and obeying the law. So that was really his part. On March 10th, the same day that police discovered human remains in Ashford, he was rearrested in suspicion of murder as well as for a separate allegation of indecent exposure. And I'll break that down very shortly, so hold on to that. 3 days prior to him getting arrested for allegedly the murder of Miss Sarah, he was also in a fast food restaurant exposing himself. But we will go ahead and get into that and why they didn't do anything about that. Let's get into it. So he was arrested as of a couple days ago, actually, on suspicion of the murder. And according to the CCTV, as I said, those circuit cameras that are literally everywhere in the UK and in the US don't get caught, is really what was his demise. I cannot imagine being the officer watching the surveillance and seeing this is someone who we know, our own fellow PC police constable. So let's go ahead. Who is Wayne Couzens? Who is this man? Where did he come from? Let's get into that. Metropolitan PC Wayne Couzens, 48, worked for an elite Westminster-based unit, protects diplomats, VIP, high-profile buildings in the capital. So he basically protected big wigs, as I said. He is a married father of two. Just let that sink in. Married father to two, remains in custody at South London Police Station following his arrest at his home in Deal, Kent, late Tuesday, 6 days after Miss Everard went missing. According to The Sun, it is a line of inquiry that he had finished a 6-hour shift at the U.S. Embassy in Nine Elms about 90 minutes before marketing executive Miss Everard was last seen. So let's just say he was not on duty, but he just finished up a 6-hour shift at around 9 p.m. and then that's when Miss Everard was abducted about an hour and a half later. Dover-born Couzens was a married dad of two, as I already said. Police arrested him at the terraced house, coastal town of Deal, where he lives with his UK-born wife, Elena, who is a laboratory manager, and their two young children. The couple met more than 10 years ago. A woman in her 30s was also arrested at the same address on suspicion of assisting an officer, has been released on bail until mid-April. So again, it came out that it was another woman that wasn't his wife in the house that was living with them who was also connected. So maybe a cover-up or something happened. I'm not sure. The town is about 75 southwest of Chaplin, again, where Chapham, I cannot say that, again, where she was abducted. So let's go ahead and get into the indecent exposure situation. On February 28th, 3 days before Mrs. Everard disappeared, the Met Police received an allegation that Couzens has exposed himself in front of a woman at a fast food restaurant in South London. Despite the complaint, it is understood he continued to work. Again, and even in the UK, we see things are not getting done. He should have been fired. He should have been on leave. He should have been in therapy. Why are you exposing yourself? Again, they protected him and did nothing about it. And then 3 days later, a woman goes missing. The police watchdog is now investigating the alleged incident of how Couzens' colleagues handled the report. Of course, the police watchdog should be investigating this because this is a huge thing of neglect. He wouldn't have been on the street. This possibly could have been avoidable almost, I hate to say. But if justice was served in that situation, then this man might not have been out on the street. It was said that the incident was captured on CCTV and the takeaway staff that night, the Sun reports. It is claimed that the complaint had not reached a command level and his colleagues are unlikely to have been aware of the allegation. So they were basically trying to cover their hinds and saying that it didn't even get up to those who would have made a big change, but still, I don't necessarily buy that. Let's get into the CCTV footage. It is understood that the police are investigating a line of inquiry reported to have come from the CCTV footage. So again, it is almost proven, allegedly, non-allegedly, that we saw him on the CCTV doing something with another young woman. A car linked to the murder suspect was allegedly spotted on a motorist's dash cam near to where Miss Everard was last seen and tracked by ANPR cameras, according to the Sun. So again, these dash cams, the police were really doing their job. They knew it had something to do with this man. Once they put two and two together, I'm sure, about the indecent exposure situation, everyone was like, okay, we need to see what is going on here because this is not right. So Couzens was initially arrested on suspicion of kidnap on Wednesday and was further arrested on suspicion of murder at the separate allegation of indecent exposure. It is understood that they do not believe that they have known each other or met previously. This is another act of a random crime. This is treated as a stranger attack. Officers have spent days looking for any type of evidence that they have known each other, and it came out that they did not allegedly indeed know each other. This is a random act of violence, a random act of crime against a woman who was supposed to be walking down the street in a nearly safe area at night, leaving her house. And a man who's supposed to protect the community, protect bigwigs, protect high-profile VIPs is actually a horrible person. People are supposed to protect us. Now, I can go on and on and on about this. I even talked about protecting yourself as a woman walking down the street. Again, I personally do not agree with women walking down the street at night by themselves. Even if you absolutely have to, I still think that it is another way, another route. Uber, anything, ask somebody to give you $5 to call a taxi, ask a kind stranger inside of somewhere to give you $20, take an Uber home, whatever, literally before you walk home at night, because no one is safe. And now it's been an uproar. On Women's Day, her boyfriend came out and, you know, said that she was still not here. She was still missing until they found her. So with that being said, you all, the next proceeding is going to be to appear. He's going to remain in custody and appear at Old Bailey on March 16th. So that is coming up. That is a Central Criminal Courthouse of England and Wales, Old Bailey. That is where he will be at. I know justice will be served. I am very curious. As I said, I will do part 2 on this. It is still developing, this story. We do not know what happened. We do not know, you know, it's still under wraps. They're still being very secretive, which I understand. But definitely, I'm happy that the police watchdog are investigating them, because the Metropolitan Police, whenever you get a tip of anything, that means that he had some type of weird desire for women. He had some type of, you know, something inside him that made him want to attack. So with that being said, I feel like those things all played a part. I hate to hear stories like this. I really send love and prayers to her family. Miss Everard was a very beautiful woman. She was very well accomplished, and she was very much so loved. With that being said, you all, that is the story. I would love to hear your comments. Please let me know if you have anything or if you've heard anything. Again, this story is still developing, so thank you for bearing with me. Hit that subscribe button. I'm on my way to 700 subscribers, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.